I thought the Princess of Friendship would be, well, friendlier,
said Midori as they galloped away from the castle.
The narrators have a somewhat checkered history with Princess Twilight and her friends.
Cloudy panted.
It was a long shot, but it was worth a try. Now, keep running before she catches us.
Mami huffed.
I can't believe she said she's glad everyone got kidnapped.
Panda wailed.
It wasn't Mama Luna's fault that everything went to heck in a hoof basket last year. Or the year before. Or the year before. Ow!
She cried out as she cannoned into a pony who had rudely been going about their daily business and not looking out for 4 mares careening wildly down Ponyville's streets.
Whoopsie-doodle!
The pony, whom Panda had laid flat, bounded back to her feet and hopped in place like a sugar-filled jackrabbit.
Hi there! Oh, wow! I don't think I've ever seen you around here before. That means I have to throw you a welcome to Ponyville party. Only,
She bit her lip, eyes darting behind her.
I kind of am sort of totally in the middle of something right now, but I will totally throw you a party just as soon as the place I usually throw parties gets its truth back. On account of some big old meaty pants ripped it off, and now the place is all open, which isn't great because we're supposed to have Rain later, and I need to find Rainbow Dash to see if she can call in a favor with her old buddies at the Weather Factory to get the storm postponed until after we get things all fixed up. And oh wow, I've never even asked your names. Hi. I'm Pinkie Pie. Nice to meet ya.
Midori struggled to keep up with the babble.
I'm Midori.
Hi, Midori.
Pinkie Pie all but pumped her foreleg right off at the shoulder with the force of her greeting.
Hey, wait! Didn't I see you in Sugar Cube Corner earlier? Right when the roof went bye-bye?
Her blue eyes widened.
You were one of the narrators who got pilfered by that party-pooping periwinkle pony!
Yeah, that was my boyfriend. We're, actually in the middle of trying to figure out a way to rescue him and his friends,
Midori said, reflexively apologetic. After their encounters with Applejack, Princess Twilight's militant student with the dumb haircut, and the angry young dragon with the sore tail at the foot of the castle, she braced herself for another angry tirade of unhelpfulness.
Oh, wow!
Pinkie Pie's mouth became a small O.
That sounds really admirable. You must love him a lot to go and do a thing like that. The narrators have
She seemed to struggle for words.
Reputation? Yeah, we'd noticed.
Mami offered.
No pony seems to like them.
Oh, we like him fine. We just preferred if they didn't keep pulling us all into their stories where we die, go insane and then die, go insane and make our friends die, go insane and make our friends die, and then we die ourselves, or eat vegetables.
She pulled a face like this last crime was the worst imaginable.
Actually, that sounds totally reasonable.
Mami admitted. Pinkie Pie giggled.
Then it's settled. I'll come along and help you rescue them.
Wait, what?
Just let me go tell Dashy about the storm thing first. Wait here, I'll be right back.
With that, she wiggled her butt like a puppy trying to play, then jumped so high they lost sight of her.
Dashy, where are you?
Ugh! Celestia's butt, Pinkie Pie! Don't scare me like that!
Shouted a voice from a cloud. Mami, Midori, Cloudy, and Panda stared upwards.
So, that just happened.
Mami said at last. In what seemed an absurdly short amount of time, Pinkie Pie landed amongst them again.
Dashy's coming too!
She beamed wide enough to split her face in two.
She is?
Echoed Cloudy.
Uh-huh. She said something about me not being around narrators on my own on account of cupcakes and rockets and insanity or something. She was babbling a bit and I wasn't really paying attention. She'll be back from the Weather Factory in a flash and then we can go get...
A multicolored bullet shot amongst them.
Going! Hi, Dashy!
Hey, Pinks!
Rainbow Dash eyed the other 4 mares dubiously.
So, I'm here as Pinkie Pie's bodyguard, I guess.
That's pretty cool of you.
Said Cloudy. For a moment, Dash stared at her.
Do I know you? Your voice sounds really familiar.
I was just thinking the same thing. I feel like I've heard you screaming and crying before.
Dash blinked.
Pinkie, why is it when you pick up strays, you always pick the weirdest ones?
Just lucky, I guess.
Pinkie beamed.
So, should we get going?
Get going where?
Asked Midori.
We have no idea where Thornquill took them, or why, or anything.
A tiny tear gathered in the corner of her eye.
My poor Gumi.
Pinkie's mane and tail wilted.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
Instantly, Midori found herself swept into a bone-crushing hug.
Pinkie promise we'll get your Gumi back, and every pony else. And as everyone knows, you can't break a Pinkie promise.
She held Midori out to wink at her.
So everything will be A-okay, okay?
Midori tried to reinflate her lungs.
I think that means I totally and completely believe you, and I promise you I'll pot pies in my future.
Supplied Mami. Midori snapped to attention.
Mami!
Mami feigned innocence.
What?
Pinkie Pie laughed.
No need to go that far. I'm just happy to help if it makes you smile.
She really is.
Dash mumbled.
It's really disturbing sometimes how far she'll go to make creatures smile.
You say disturbing, I say encouraging.
Pinkie's words became a shriek. Her left hind leg abruptly whirled in an impossible circle, and her mane seemed to explode in a riot of even curlier curls. She dropped Midori and spun in place, kicking up dust, and... were those actual sparkles coming from her nose? She flipped end over end, bounced over Rainbow Dash, and came to land in a gigantic ceramic plant pot.
Wow, that was a heck of a doozy.
Pinks, you okay? What's with your hair?
Dash stared. Pinkie grinned up from under the sharply angled arrow her forelock had become. No matter which way she turned her head, it kept pointing in the same direction.
I think I know where to find them.
Said Cloudy. Said Panda. Said Midori.
Bitch.
Said Mami. Dash sighed.
Don't question it. Seriously, just don't.
Thornquill recognized the whoosh of a portal of pure darkness, but did not turn around.
You're really taking this whole evil alicorn thing to the nth degree, aren't you?
Cygnus said mildly.
What is that, a cape? Did Edna Mode teach you nothing?
I'm not evil, just vengeful.
Same difference.
Did you want something?
To see how you're doing, actually.
Cygnus craned his neck back.
And maybe admire your decor. You really built this place in less than a week?
Apparently, an alicorn's natural instinct is to build castles.
Well, that would explain Castle Porno last year.
Thorny's expression darkened.
No, that was pure Wooten.
Speaking of which, where is he?
In answer, Thorny waved one hoof in a wide arc.
Oh, somewhere in adult fiction.
Wait. What?
Thorny's horn flashed briefly, and a candelabra flared to life.
Oh my.
Cygnus looked up. And up. And up.
At first, I just wanted to put the narrators somewhere they couldn't do any damage until May 1st.
Thorny's tone remained almost conversational, which was a level of disturbing even Cygnus was beginning to grasp.
Then I thought, well, they have allies, right? Ponies and creatures who would come and rescue them. So I made some preemptive strikes, shall we say. And when I organized everyone by genre, it made so much sense to have voice actors placed next to where I'd planned to put the fic readers. And then the analysis community slotted so neatly into place next to them. And then animators, and that segued into fan artists, and then I couldn't forget the fanfic authors who give the narrators so many bad ideas.
Holy.
And then I thought, Well, wouldn't the world be a better place if they could just indefinitely go away instead of just for a month? Which actually is kind of a concept I'm still workshopping, so don't quote me on that.
Thorny,
Cygnus did not technically need to swallow, being comprised of pure shadow, but his throat did constrict a little.
did you turn the entire brony fandom into books and put them in your library?
No, not all the fandom.
Thorny smiled. His horn glowed.
Yet.
Cygnus ran for a portal. In the archive, he was king. In this dimension, he was powerful. But, well, not quite as powerful as an alicorn. Even one he had created in his pocket dimension and then unleashed upon the world for shits and giggles.
I think I may have fucked up. Just a little.
He thought, right before his world turned papery.
Does she ever stop singing?
Sure. Sometimes she's talking. Or eating. Or both.
Flapping along beside the hot air balloon, Midori watched Pinkie bounce around the wicker interior.
Is it, safe for her to be doing that?
Hey, Pinks! How far now?
Rainbow Dash asked. It was like she had flipped a switch. Pinkie Pie stopped bouncing to hook her forelegs over the edge of the basket. Her mane seemed to strain to get away from her like a dog at the end of its leash. Her tongue stuck out of her mouth in thought.
Not far.
That is not totally unhelpful.
Mami said from behind her.
Also, please stop rattling the basket, or I will hurl again.
Again?
Panda asked.
Let's just say Applejack's chimney is fuller than it was before, and may smell weird when they next light a fire. Serves her right for not agreeing to help us.
Ew!
Cloudy pulled a face.
Hey, you'd rather I Technicolor yawned all over you? Didn't think so.
Pinkie Pie's hooves started to jitter.
Uh-oh! Sorry!
Her voice became a vibrato as her whole body started to shake so violently that every pony else in the basket had to cling to the sides to avoid being thrown out.
I can't help it! Whoa!
Her head turned a full 360 degrees, then spun back the other way and confetti burst from her ears. She bucked, kicking both hind legs in turn, then fell into a heap.
Wowie zowie! That's a new one!
She did not, however, sound pleased at this.
What did that mean, Pinks?
Neither did Rainbow Dash, which frankly made everyone else in their vicinity break into a cold sweat.
Was it a doozy?
Nuh-uh.
Pinkie Pie shook her head.
It was a floozy.
A what?
Pinkie Pie's face was a mask of distress.
Something that Granny Pie told me about when I was just a little filly. It's legendary in our family. I've never had one before. I'm not even sure what it means.
Her explanation was interrupted by the loud noise of Mami attempting to turn herself inside out over the edge of the basket.
Look out below!
Cloudy called desperately. A distant shriek told them all that whoever was below had not looked out. Or maybe they had, and that had been even worse. Ew. No, wait. Worse was the shotgun the pony below pulled out and fired on the balloon.
What the fuck?
Mami dived for cover.
Hey, you unicorns! How about you use your magic for something useful?
Why are you even in the basket? You have wings.
Cloudy shouted back.
I don't know. It might be because the author forgot I'm a Pegasus until she'd already written in a frankly horrific vomit joke, and then decided to double down on it instead of go back and rewrite stuff.
Another shotgun blast bounced off Cloudy's shield spell.
Geez, what a lazy author.
Panda yelled.
Yeah! You'd think she'd planned this sort of thing in advance to stop that from happening.
That'd involve forethought, though, and she's probably really shitty at that. Can we stop talking about this now and get on with the plot?
Get out of the balloon!
Make me! It's full of bullets out there!
Good point.
Rainbow Dash grabbed Midori and jumped into the basket.
Move over, please.
Panda looked up.
What's the capacity for ponies riding in this hot air balloon?
I'm not sure.
Pinkie replied.
Why?
Panda peered over the edge.
Because we're going down.
That's what she said.
No, really!
Another shotgun blast bounced off the shield, making them all wince.
We're getting closer to the ground!
Uh-oh!
Said Rainbow Dash.
Uh-oh.
Said Cloudy.
Uh-oh.
Said Midori.
Bitch!
Said Mami. Pinkie Pie threw up her forehooves.
Splashdown!
What?
Moments later, there was no need for what? There was, however, a need for, oh crap, that's the river, I can't swim, and...
Hey, look!
Pinkie leaned out, nearly appending the basket and toppling them all into the water until Dash and Mami grabbed her and pulled her back in.
My main arrow was still pointing this way. We're still going in the right direction.
Midori coughed up a small fish.
Joy.
Mami's face was a pale shade of green.
Did I mention that on top of getting airsick, I get seasick too?
Gumi, you had better be so grateful for me rescuing you. I better get veggie pot pies for days.